Hello everyone, my name is Kim and welcome back to my channel and welcome to round 11 of the TBR Cafe, the game I play each month to decide what books I will be reading. So if you've never seen a round of the TBR Cafe before, I will link the playlist down below for you to check out after this video. Alright, so round 11, it is February. I am so excited. It is my birthday month. I am heading off to London for 2 weeks for the last half of the month, and there's quite a few good books coming out, or ones that I'm excited for, so I have a feeling it will probably affect how I play this game. There's a lot of factors involved, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that the game is nice to me. So let's go ahead and jump right in and get to round 11 of the TBR Cafe and find out what I'll be reading this month. Okay, so first things first, we have to roll the dice to see how many rolls/books I will be reading for the month of February. I am going to be out of town for 2 weeks out of the month, so half the month I'm not going to be at home with my books, so I definitely have to kind of choose wisely, which is why I'm also doing a D8 this time around. So let's go ahead and roll the D8 and see how many books/rolls I'll be doing. 6! Okay, I'm good with that, because that technically gives me 8 total, including the nonfiction and my 12 Rex challenge. So we have 6 rolls in total, so let's go ahead and get started with roll number 1. Where we have 11. I think I'm going to start on the left-hand side and go counterclockwise. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We are starting with a coffee. How appropriate for the TBR Cafe. And our first prompt of February is enemies to lovers. I'm throwing it down because I'm here for that. One of my favorite romance tropes, and it was my first prompt for my birthday month. The TBR Cafe game deities are on point, and they are liking me with this prompt. Enemies to lovers, prompt number 1. So prompt number 1 has given us enemies to lovers, and as you can tell, I'm very excited about it. So I love enemies to lovers, and for that I am going to go with Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. This is a standalone, so no sequels to wait for, which is exciting, just the whole story in one book, and I'm definitely in the mood for a couple of those. So I decided to go with this one. This one is about a girl named Elizabeth who wants to become a warden at this library. She's grown up with sorcery, and an act of sabotage happens, and this dangerous grimoire is released upon the world, and I'm guessing the adventure goes from there. So I'm excited to see what this one's truly about when we get into it, but as far from the dust jacket, I can tell that's kind of the main beginning of the story. So I'm excited about this one. I'm excited for the enemies to lovers. Yeah, so Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson is my first pick for February. Roll number 2. That hit the leaf, so I'm going to roll again. 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have a book. And our prompt is... Okay, that's just not right. Read a book over 600 pages. And a coffee break. So maybe the game board gods are not in our favor after all. Or I got too excited, so they decided to knock me back down a peg. But book more than 600 pages. And then we have, of course, our coffee break. So hopefully we get a free coffee and that there is a good one in here. Let's just go with this one. It can't get any worse, can it? I mean, it probably can. No coffee plus 2 additional rolls. Oh. Alright. Well, we're doing 8 rolls now, so... So I know that you all saw that roll number 2. I'm fine with it. I'm fine. Everything is fine. So for roll number 2, we have a book over 600 pages. Not an ideal choice, but the other downfall was that we did not get a coffee and we are adding 2 additional rolls to the TBR, but I'm rolling with it. It's fine. I am making lemonade out of lemons because for my over 600 page book, I will be reading Sarah J. Maas, Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood, or Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood. This is the first book of her newest series, and the sequel comes out, I believe, this month. I believe it's this month, or it's in March. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I believe it comes out in February. So, perfect opportunity to pick this book up. I love some Sarah J. Maas. Throne of Glass, I read it all last year. It was phenomenal. So I'm very much excited to pick up this book. I don't even know what it's about, to be perfectly honest. So I'm going to keep it that way and let it all be a surprise. So yeah, Sarah J. Maas, Crescent City, book over 600 pages. Take that, TBR game. I'm excited about it. Roll number 3. And that is a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Back to a coffee. Please be a good one. And our prompt is directional title. Okay, so this is kind of like north, south, east, west, or even left, right, that kind of title, which we have never had this prompt before, so I'm excited about it, and I think I already know what book I'm going to pick. Roll number 3 gave us directional title, and for this, I'm kind of stretching this out, and I'm going with The Left-Handed Booksellers of London by Garth Nix. I am very excited about this book, and it's kind of like little tiny fun things about the title alone just make me really excited. One, it has to do with London, and I love London, and I'm going to London this month, so I thought it was very appropriate. It's also appropriate because I am left-handed myself, so I'm excited to read this book, and the left-handed booksellers have magic, and I don't know quite what the book's really about, but I like going into them fairly blind and unknowing, so I'm excited to read this one, and it's also by Garth Nix, who we know is a fantastic storyteller, so I'm very excited to read The Left-Handed Booksellers of London in February. Roll number 4 is a 10, and 10 to another coffee. All the coffee, it's kind of like my day so far. And our prompt is book box pick. Oh, I like this. I really have so many book box books that I need to read, so this is probably a really good pick, plus it's broad and I have a lot to choose from. Alright, so I'm going to kind of do roll number 4 a little bit different, and the prompt that I got was book box pick. And I'm going to use my TBR tin, which is technically another prompt, but the books inside the tin are all book box picks. So I thought I would just go ahead and use the tin, shake it up, and pick one out. Let's see what I'm reading. If I can get it undone. Oh no. Struggle. Okay. This is great. This is great. So it is, I don't know if you'll be able to read that. It is Magonia. So this is an Alcrate book. Let me go grab it. Here it is. Here is Magonia by Maria Devana Headley. This is really hilarious because not only is this an Alcrate book, it is the first Alcrate book box I ever received, and I have not read it yet. So this is called karma, ladies and gentlemen, coming around and giving me the first book I ever received from Alcrate. So I'll be reading Magonia in the month of February. Roll number 5 is a 3. 1, 2, 3. We have a cupcake to go with all of our coffee. And our 5th prompt is animal on the cover. Okay, I can do that one. Animal on the cover. All right, roll number 5 has given us animal on the cover. I'm going to stretch this one quite a bit, so bear with me. I will be reading Girls of Fate and Fury by Natasha Nhan. I know, there's no animal on the cover. It's back here. See these little tiny black dots? Those are birds. And that's... I know. It is not a real animal on the cover, but there's still an animal on the cover. It's just really tiny. But I want to read this so bad. I need it on my TBR for February. I bought it during the Barnes & Noble hardback sale. The second book, this is the final book in the trilogy, the second book left off on the worst cliffhanger, and I read it in June of 2020. Like, it is now 2022. I need to read this book, and if that's how it's going to get on my TBR, that's how it's going to get on my TBR. So, animal on the cover, we got some birds. I'm going to be reading Girls of Fate and Fury. I'm so excited to see how this book ends, but I'm also terrified because that cliffhanger. That's all I'm going to say. If you know, you know. I'm excited about this one. Roll number 6. Is it 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Takes us around to another cupcake. And our prompt is graphic novel. Oh my gosh. Yes. Thank goodness. Yes, I have some graphic novels that I can read. Definitely. Alright, so roll number 6 has given us graphic novel. For this, I'm going to read volume 2 of The Wicked and the Divine. Pandemonium is the name of the volume, and it covers issues 6 through 11, plus some other material from the comic. Now, this one is the second one, so I'm just going to kind of read the blurb on the back to give you an idea of what it's about overall. And it says, every 90 years, 12 gods return as young people. They are loved, they are hated. In 2 years, they are all dead. It's happening now, it's happening again. So that's kind of the premise of the whole series. I think I might need to reread the first volume just to get a refresher, like the last little bit. But yeah, so I'm excited to continue with this graphic novel series and read volume 2. Roll number 7. 11. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have an ice cream cone. Look, birthday, I got my cake and my ice cream. Here we go. Give us a good prompt. Our next prompt is oldest publication. So I need to go find the oldest publication currently on my TBR. I have no idea what that's going to be. Oh, it's probably going to be a classic, I think. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, this might go very badly. Roll number 7 gave us oldest publication, so I went on to the story graph and organized my books, my TBR by oldest pub, and the first solo book that wasn't part of like an anthology was Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, which also for this month is really special as this is my mom's favorite book, or one of her favorite books, so to be reading it this month is really special. So I'm excited about this one, and I'm excited to finally read it in its entirety because I don't think I've ever actually finished Wuthering Heights. And I also bought this copy of it in a bookshop in Oxford in London. So this book is about 10 years old. I bought it about 10 years ago, so it's about time that I read it. So Wuthering Heights is my pick for oldest publication. Roll number 8, the final roll, is a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another cupcake. Our final prompt is going to be warm toned cover. So this just means that it's like a warmer tone. So like an orange red or oranges, reds, yellows, even like a reddish pink would work, those kind of colors. So like even like a warm gray, you know, like warmer shades of colors. So finally, roll number 8 has given us warm toned cover. For that, I'm going with a Glass Alliance novel, Storm from the East by Joanna Hathaway. This is the sequel to Dark of the West, which if you have not read it, I totally recommend giving it a try. There's a lot of political intrigue between two families and kind of some World War II vibes, airplanes. It's a really fun book. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did, so definitely check it out even if that's not quite your thing. But I'm going to be reading the sequel, Storm from the East, and I'm really excited to continue Ethan and Aurelia's story. So yeah, this book is on my February TBR. And that was the last of our TBR Cafe game rolls, but now we're moving on to the monthly challenges that I have for the year. So let's see what books I pick for those. Starting off this time, we're going to choose the 12 Recs from 12 Friends challenge on Instagram, and so we're going to go ahead and pick one of these out. I know which one I kind of want, so we'll see if I get it. I don't know. Alright. And yes! Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is actually a reread for me, and I did kind of cheat and put a reread on here, so it's The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I love this book, and I have yet to actually read a full finished copy because I had an ARC, so I'm really excited about this. I cannot believe that I was able to draw this for my birthday month, and that is V.E. Schwab, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Yes, I'm so excited. This is the only book on this challenge that is a reread. I decided that because I have not read an actual finished copy of the book, that it counts. So I will be rereading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, but I get to enjoy it with the illustrations in it, and then extra illustrations because I'll be reading the Waterstones Illustrated Anniversary Edition with these gorgeous edges. I'm so excited to reread this book. It's been over a year. It's almost been, I think it's been a year and a half since I read it for the first time, so I'm excited to return to this book, return to Addie's story, and remember her all over again. So I'm very excited that this made it onto my TBR for this month. And then we have our nonfiction pick to go with my challenge of reading 12 nonfiction books this year. So let's pick out one of these. Let's go with this one. The Gifts of Imperfection. This is a short one, so I'm pretty happy about that. So far, my nonfiction has been short, so this is really good. So, The Gifts of Imperfection. Alright, so we have The Gifts of Imperfection. Let go of who you think you're supposed to be and embrace who you are. Brene Brown. This is the pick for my nonfiction book this month. I'm very excited that it is a short book, so that's nice. I'm getting lucky on these, which means at the end of the year we might be in for some big books. So I'm gonna enjoy this one. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of advice it has for this year and just for my overall self. So, The Gifts of Imperfection. So February TBR is all picked. I'm gonna try to lift it into the frame. Here we go. Here are all my books for the month of February. I am stoked about pretty much every single one of these books, so I don't think I'm gonna have a problem reading this month. I'm ready to go. Like, I know that it's still technically January as I film this, but can I just start now? Like, I think I can start now, right? I should probably finish the book I'm reading now. Yeah, I'll do that first. So now that you know what I'm reading in the month of February, I want to hear from you. Leave me a comment letting me know a book or two that you plan to read in February. And if you've made it this far, if you've made it to the end of the video, drop a coffee cup emoji in the comments as well. I hope you enjoyed this round of the TBR Cafe, round 11. We are coming up on one whole year of this game, which is crazy exciting. So if you want to see that and more, hit that subscribe button and join me on this channel. And I will see you all in my next video. Happy reading and take care. Bye everyone.